Hey Garden Fam, welcome back to The Sprout. Today we're talking about one of the most iconic and beloved perennials in North American gardens, the coneflower, Echinacea purpurea. Those gorgeous daisy-like flowers with the prominent spiky cone in the center and petals that gracefully droop downward. The name Echinacea comes from the Greek word echinos, meaning hedgehog or sea urchin. And if you look at the center cone, you'll see exactly why. Coneflowers are native to the eastern and central United States. They've been growing in prairies, meadows, and open woodlands for centuries, and they've become one of the most popular perennials in home gardens. They're tough, they're drought-tolerant, and they bloom for months. Plus, they attract butterflies, bees, and birds. And here's the best part, they're incredibly easy to grow. Before we dive in, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. We put out new gardening videos every week, and I don't want you to miss the next one. Also, drop a comment below. Do you grow coneflowers? What color? I'd love to hear about it. Now, let's get into it. First, let's talk about why coneflowers are so special. Coneflowers are herbaceous perennials that come back year after year. They grow 2 to 4 feet tall depending on the variety, and bloom from early summer to late summer, sometimes into fall if you deadhead them. The petals have a prominent central cone that's dark brown, orange, or green, surrounded by colorful petals. The petals come in shades of purple, pink, white, yellow, orange, red, and even peach. You're no longer limited to just purple. Thanks to modern breeding, you can find coneflowers in almost any color. There are 9 recognized species of coneflower, but the most common is Echinacea purpurea, the purple coneflower. It's the one you'll find in most garden centers, but there are also fantastic cultivars you should know about. Magnus is a classic. It has large, rose-colored flowers with flat, non-drooping petals. Ruby Giant has deep rose flowers up to 3 inches across. White Swan has pure white flowers. Cheyenne Spirit is a mix of colors on one plant: gold, orange, red, cream, purple, and yellow. Powwow Wildberry blooms early and has vivid, deep rose purple flowers. Tomato Soup has brilliant red flowers, and Kim's Knee High is a compact variety that stays under 2 feet tall, perfect for small spaces. Now let's start with sun requirements. Coneflowers grow best in full sun. They need at least 6 hours of direct sunlight every day. In too much shade, they'll get leggy and produce fewer flowers. They'll also be more prone to powdery mildew. In very hot climates, a little afternoon shade is fine, but morning sun is essential. Now let's talk about soil. Coneflowers are adaptable. They grow in most well-draining soils, clay, loam, or sandy soils. They prefer evenly moist soil, but are drought-tolerant once established. In fact, they thrive in dry to medium moisture soils. They also tolerate poor soil and heat and humidity. The only thing they don't like is wet, soggy soil. Good drainage is important. Now let's talk about planting. The best time to plant coneflowers is fall or spring. Fall is actually ideal because it gives the roots time to establish before the heat of summer. Dig a hole twice as wide as the root ball. Plant at the same depth it was growing in its pot. Space plants 18 to 24 inches apart. Water thoroughly after planting. Mulch to retain moisture and suppress weeds. Now let's talk about watering. Water regularly during the first year to help the roots establish. After that, coneflowers are quite drought-tolerant. They have deep tap roots that find water. Water deeply once a week during extended dry spells. In normal weather, you don't need to water at all. Overwatering is more of a problem than underwatering. They don't like wet feet. Now let's talk about fertilizing. Coneflowers are not heavy feeders. Too much fertilizer, especially too much nitrogen, will make them leggy and flop over. In early spring, apply a light dose of a balanced, slow-release fertilizer, like 12-6-6. That's usually enough. If you want to go organic, a layer of compost works well. Don't fertilize after midsummer. You want the plant to slow down and prepare for winter, not push out soft new growth. Now let's talk about deadheading. Deadheading means removing spent flowers. You don't have to deadhead coneflowers, they will rebloom on their own. But deadheading improves the appearance and encourages more blooms. When a flower fades, cut the stem back to a leaf node. If you stop deadheading in late summer, leave the seed heads for birds. Goldfinches love to eat coneflower seeds. They're beautiful in winter too, brown, spiky cones on bare stems. Now let's talk about pruning. In late fall, after the flowers have faded and the foliage has died back, you can cut the stems back to the ground. Or you can leave the seed heads standing for winter interest and wildlife. If you want a tidier garden, cut them back in early spring before new growth appears. Now let's talk about dividing. Coneflowers spread over time. Every 3 to 4 years, the clump becomes crowded. The flowers get smaller and the center of the clump may die out. That's when you need to divide. The best time to divide is spring or fall. Dig up the entire clump, use a sharp spade to cut it into sections. Each section should have roots and shoots. Replant the divisions. Discard the woody center. Dividing reinvigorates the plant. Now let's talk about common problems. Let's go through them one by one. Problem 1. Powdery mildew. White powder on leaves. This is common in humid weather with poor air circulation. Space plants properly. Water at the base, not overhead. Remove affected leaves. Choose mildew-resistant varieties. Problem 2. Aster yellows. A disease that causes distorted, greenish flowers and stunted growth. There's no cure. Remove and destroy infected plants immediately to prevent spread. Problem 3. Japanese beetles. They eat the leaves and flowers. Hand pick them off in the morning. Use traps placed away from your coneflowers. Problem 4. Aphids. Small insects on new growth. Spray them off with water. Use insecticidal soap for heavy infestations. Problem 5. Leaf spot. Brown or black spots on leaves. Remove affected leaves, improve air circulation. Don't compost infected leaves. Problem 6. Rabbits. They eat the foliage. Use repellent or fencing. Here's where you come in. Drop a comment below. Do you grow coneflowers? What's your favorite variety? Do you leave the seed heads for the birds? I'd love to know. Now let's talk about coneflowers for pollinators. Coneflowers are pollinator magnets. Bees, butterflies, and other beneficial insects visit them constantly. They're a host plant for several butterfly species, and the seeds feed birds in fall and winter. If you want a wildlife-friendly garden, coneflowers are a must. Now let's talk about coneflowers as cut flowers. Coneflowers make excellent cut flowers. They can last up to 2 weeks in a vase. Cut the stems when the flowers are just opening. Remove most of the leaves, put them in water immediately. The seed heads also look great in dried arrangements. Now let's talk about coneflowers in the landscape. Coneflowers are versatile. Plant them in mass plantings for dramatic display. Plant them in the back of perennial borders. They add height and structure. Plant them in meadows and naturalized areas. They look like they belong there. Plant them with black-eyed Susans, ornamental grasses, and other prairie natives. The possibilities are endless. Now let's talk about the medicinal uses of coneflowers. Echinacea has been used for centuries for its health benefits. Native Americans used it medicinally. Today, echinacea is a popular herbal remedy used to boost the immune system and reduce the duration of colds and flu. But don't harvest your garden plants for medicine. You'll damage the plant. Buy echinacea supplements instead. Let me give you a few quick answers to common questions. How long do coneflowers live? With good care, several years. Divide every 3 to 4 years. Do coneflowers come back every year? Yes, they're perennials. When is the best time to plant? Fall or spring? Do coneflowers need full sun? Yes, at least 6 hours daily. How tall do coneflowers get? 2 to 4 feet, depending on the variety. Let's wrap everything up. Coneflowers are one of the easiest and most rewarding perennials you can grow. They're beautiful, they're tough, and they bloom for months. Plant them in full sun in well-draining soil. Water during the first year, then only during dry spells. Don't over-fertilize. Head dead to keep them blooming. Leave seed heads for birds in winter. Divide every 3 to 4 years. Watch for powdery mildew and aster yellows. Here's the most important thing to remember. Coneflowers are native North American plants. They've been growing on prairies for centuries without any help from us. They don't need perfect soil, constant water, or fancy fertilizer. Give them sun, water them for the first year, and then let them do their thing. They'll reward you with months of beautiful flowers and happy pollinators. Before you go, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and leave me a comment. Are you planting coneflowers this year? What variety? I'd love to know. Also, what flower should I cover next? Hosta? Shasta daisy? Sedum? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Take care of your garden, and it will take care of you. See you in the next video.